Kandahar Province, 2015. Night vision green. A shadow moves through Taliban sentries like death itself. Silent takedown. Knife flash. Body drops. The shadow's face turns. A blonde woman, eyes cold as winter. 5 targets. No gunshots. Mission clock, 000123. The same blonde woman sat motionless in the Fort Bragg canteen. Her holster empty. Her sidearm confiscated. "Nice of them to let the typist eat with real soldiers," Captain Holt sneered, his squad laughing. Sarah Lawson, mid-30s, civilian contractor, kept her eyes on her untouched coffee. They'd stripped her weapon for breaching protocol, but classified files buried in Pentagon servers told a different story. Files documenting how this simple woman had once eliminated 5 hostiles in 83 seconds with her bare hands. She lifted her gaze, meeting Holt's eyes. "Careful, Captain." 2 words. Holt's smirk faltered. Something in her tone whispered of operations that didn't exist and bodies never found. A metal tray crashed behind her. Holt's hand drifted toward his concealed knife. The woman didn't flinch. "Some fights," she said quietly. "You've already lost." Fort Bragg's Delta compound canteen buzzed with evening meal service. Metal trays, concrete floors, rigid hierarchy. Late afternoon sun through reinforced windows. Sarah Raptor 6 Lawson, though no one knew that call sign, sat alone, her contractor badge marking her as outsider. Blonde ponytail, deliberately unremarkable. Just another Pentagon auditor, the cover story said. Captain Derek Holt dominated center stage. 43, white, soft around the edges, commanding the training cadre with untested arrogance. His connections ran deep. Whispers linked him to Obsidian Solutions, Black Ops contractors in legal gray zones. "Heard they took your pea shooter away," Holt continued. "What happened, Lawson? Forget which end the bullets come out of." "The truth. Yesterday's live fire exercise, Sarah had used techniques that weren't in manuals. Techniques that matched classified combat signatures. Base Command confiscated her sidearm pending investigation." Sarah's hand rested still, except for the slightest tremor. Muscle memory from triggers pulled in places these men only saw in briefings. "They think I'm nothing. The scar tissue on my knuckles says different." Holt tossed her empty holster onto the floor. His fingers brushed his hidden knife. The soldiers laughed, but Rodriguez and Chen shifted uncomfortably. Her stillness didn't fit. Colonel James Iron Pierce lowered his newspaper an inch, tracking the scene with old guilt. "You know what your problem is, Lawson?" Holt stepped closer, squad forming a semicircle. "You're playing soldier in a world that requires warriors." He tore her access badge in half. "Some senator's niece gets a contractor gig, thinks she belongs here. But when steel meets meat, you fold." What burned beneath? 2 years ago, Holt was rejected from a CIA JSOC task force. The rejection signed by R6, the same task force that revolutionized urban warfare in Syria. His Obsidian connections eventually revealed who R6 was. "Nothing to say?" Holt leaned close. "Finally realizing what you are? A filing clerk who got lucky?" The canteen went quiet. Sarah stood slowly, economically. She met his stare. "Lucky?" Her voice carried winter. "Is that what you call surviving?" Holt took a half step back. Rodriguez whispered, "That's not civilian body language." Pierce's knuckles went white. He'd kept silent 18 months, protecting Sarah from assassins who'd already claimed 2 of her unit. But watching Holt, whose contacts betrayed her team, push her toward breaking stirred something primal. The colonel stood, chair scraping concrete. "Ever completely misjudge someone who proved you wrong? Drop your story below." Pierce's mug shattered against concrete like a gunshot. Every head turned as the colonel strode forward. "Stand down, Captain. You're addressing Lieutenant Colonel Sarah Lawson, callsign Raptor 6. The name rippled through the room. Sergeants from intelligence support activity exchanged shocked glances. That call sign appeared in classified reports, always redacted, attached to impossible operations. Holt scoffed, uncertain. "Bullshit. Raptor 6 is a myth." Pierce tossed a scarred dog tag onto the table. "Raptor 6, TFK, Okonos. Task Force Crate. The Obsidian network that betrayed her team still has shooters hunting survivors. Sarah Lawson died in a Kandahar safehouse fire, officially. This woman is all that's left of a legend." Flashback. Afghanistan, October 2015. compound outside Lashkar. One captured marine cryptologist 12 hours before enemy intel cracks him. She'd infiltrated at 0200. First sentry dropped, carotid choke. By the time his partner noticed, she was inside. 83 seconds. 5 eliminated. 0 shots. Marine extracted. Sarah's breathing had changed. Deeper, controlled, pre-contact breathing. Martinez, Thompson, Kim, Chen, Washington. My team, betrayed for Obsidian blood money. 12 high-value targets neutralized, Pierce continued. 0 civilian casualties. 0 friendly losses until someone sold them out. Holt paled, his Obsidian connections suddenly feeling like a noose. Even if true, she's nothing now. Broken. Broken! Pierce's eyes blazed. She survived an ambush that killed 5 elite operators, escaped 50 kilometers with a bullet in her shoulder, burns on 30% of her body, while hunting the bastards who sold her team. Sarah bent to retrieve her torn badge. Meeting Holt's eyes, she let him see what lay beneath. A predator's patience, grief hammered into purpose. You want to know why I let you take my weapon? Her words cut like wire. Because I don't need a gun. I am one. She brushed past without another word, footsteps silent on echoing concrete. At the door, she paused, glancing at Pierce with shared recognition of loss. The canteen erupted in whispers and frantic searches through classified networks, finding fragments of legends they'd dismissed as impossible. Within minutes, the compound's mood had shifted. Soldiers scrolled through redacted files, piecing together Raptor 6's legacy. Each detail deepened their shame and awe. The Kandahar ghost technique, Rodriguez showed Chen a manual, required reading for Tier 1 now. Holt's defiance curdled desperate. His Obsidian contacts had warned about crate survivors, but he'd never connected it to the contractor he'd tormented. Now Pierce's revelation threatened exposure. Prove it, Holt snarled. Open mat, 5 of my best, no weapons. Unless Raptor 6 is afraid? Sarah had reached the door. She stopped, turned, walked back to the combat area, stepped onto the mat. Fear? She rolled her shoulders. I left that in the desert. Holt selected 5. Martinez, ex-Ranger boxer, Thompson and Williams, undefeated Marine Raiders, Davies, dirty fighting Delta, Brooks, SEER instructor. What's the most epic comeback you've witnessed? Share below. They circled with practice coordination. Sarah stood motionless, seeing not the mat but Kandahar compounds where she'd faced death odds. Martinez attacked first. Sarah flowed around his jab, palm strike to solar plexus, sweep using his momentum. Down in 1.8 seconds. She turned bodies into weapons. Thompson rushed into Williams, their collision orchestrated by minimal contact. Davies' chokehold became a joint lock, putting him face down. 3.2 seconds. Brooks grabbed a training knife. His thrust came professional. Sarah guided the blade past with her left while her right found the pressure point, dropping knife and man. 4.7 seconds. Environment became arsenal. Water bottle to Thompson's face. Mat edge trapping Williams' ankle. Equipment bag entangling Martinez. Brooks's final lunge met simplicity. Redirect into Davies. Sleeper hold as the clock hit 83 seconds. 5 operators down. Sarah stood among them, 1 drop of blood on her knuckle. That's why, she said to the silent crowd, they called us ghosts. Dawn at Fort Bragg arrived in mist and shadow. Sarah moved through morning training, alone but watched from windows with Legends respect. The package at her door, new holster, badge engraved Raptor 6. No paperwork, just acknowledgement. Holt's note made her blood freeze. I betrayed you, your team. Obsidian owned me before we met. I fed them everything, routes, safe houses, extraction points. They're coming. Tonight. Full strike team. I'm sorry. DH. Pierce's addition. Holt came to me broken. Facial recognition matched him to Kandahar surveillance. He was Obsidian's inside man, but he's turned. Intel's solid. Your choice. Stay and fight or disappear. Iron. Her encrypted radio crackled. Delta actual to all stations. Hostile reconnaissance confirmed. Obsidian contractors, 12+ operators. Lockdown initiated. She clipped the badge on. Time to remind them why ghosts don't die. Secure message from Langley. Crate resources reactivated, offensive or defensive. Obsidian's entire network exposed if you want it. The choice was made. 18 months running. Now she had targets. Moving toward the armory, Pierce emerged with a full Delta squadron. Rodriguez and Chen flanked her. "Ma'am," Rodriguez said, "we're with you." "Good." Sarah checked her weapon. "They expect one ghost. They get an army." Base alarms wailed. The radio crackled. "Raptor 6, hostile breach Sector 9. They're inside." Sarah keyed her mic. "Raptor 6 copies. Hunting." As she vanished into shadows, her silhouette merged with darkness, badge glinting. Final transmission. "All stations, this is Holt. I'm with the hostiles. And they brought everyone. Obsidian's entire American cell." Sarah's voice, cold as Kandahar nights. "Perfect. I won't have to hunt them twice." "Can Raptor 6 stop Holt's betrayal and dismantle Obsidian?"